Hi, welcome everyone to the Paranormal Pride. I'm your host, Denise Pridemore, and our co-host, Ron. I hope everybody's having a great night. I do want to ask everybody to pray for Shauna Wankel. She's going through chemo and soon to be radiation for cancer. So keep her in your prayers. Today was her first day of chemo. And so been friends with her a very long time, and it breaks my heart that she's having to go through this. But, with all the positive thoughts and prayers and good vibes going to her, she'll get through it. She's a strong woman, so keep her in your prayers. So on top of that, I have us a great guest tonight. We all may remember Sean from Hill City Paranormal and his wife, Courtney. Well, Courtney couldn't be here tonight because she works on Monday nights, but Sean is. So I'd like to welcome Sean from Hill City Paranormal here. Hey there, Sean.
Howdy. There you go.
We have a delay. I'm just saying. Just so you know, we have a delay.
Oh, no.
So what are you guys have a lot of...
Is it a bad one?
Yeah, kind of. Can you go out and come back in?
Yeah, I can try to leave and come back. Let me see.
Okay, do that.
And how do I leave?
I can kick you out.
Do I do remove from stage? All right, kick me out.
I'm going to kick you out. Kick from studio. There we go. Got that done. He'll be back. I promise. So,
hello, Mom.
We didn't have a show last week. I know some of you noticed. We didn't have a show last week because we were traveling. We went to the beautiful McPike Mansion, and we got to sleep in the mansion. So, guys, if you're out there and you want to investigate the McPike Mansion, reach out to Sharon Ludke or the McPike Mansion Facebook page, and she can get you all the information that she has on it. The first floor has floor, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not very comfortable to sleep on, but you know what?
It won't fall through.
You won't fall through, and you won't be sleeping in mud. Because when we went last Saturday, it was a muddy mess. Ask Ron's mom. She got to clean her clothes. So it was bad. I was wet all the way up to my knees. So, and we got to run into Dara and Caitlin and Lisa, their mom, and then John and Terry, who have been on the show before, and
Tim and Andy.
Yep.
Or Bait.
Bait. I call him Bait. So, and Beth from McPike Mansion was there as well. So we had a really good time. Really wish that more of you could come sometime and check it out. And we hope to go back next year. I think that our time is limited at this point with the current ownership. So not that it's for sale. It's just they're getting tired. So keep that in mind. Let's see. We got investigation coming up on Saturday night at midnight at the VFW Hall here over in Pensacola. We have to wait for them to close before we can go. So that's going to be interesting.
We'll probably have a bunch of them stick around.
Yeah.
Just like the other bar we did.
Yeah. So we recently investigated here in Milton at the Beardless Brew House. It's the same place that we were having our paranormal meetups at, which we're going back there starting this month. Starting next November. Month. So that'll be fun to hear more about that. And there's Sean. So let's see if it's better.
Is that better?
Well, it's going to have to be.
I think it is. It is.
Should be.
So
y'all aren't frozen on my side.
Are we still frozen?
Not at all.
So you guys have had a lot of events this year.
Everything's great.
And I know you got some coming up. You want to talk about those?
Yeah. So we got the Rainworth. Well, let me think. Is that the next one? Yeah. Rainworth Lodge will be coming up. I believe that's November. God, where's Courtney when I need her? I'm terrible with dates. hopefully she's in the chat somewhere so she can save me here. I'm terrible with this, y'all. He threw that one on me. I didn't know. I'm terrible with dates. But it's on our Facebook page. Check out Hill City Ghost with an S at the end of it. But we do a lot of public events. I enjoy teaching the public how to investigate properly. I also enjoy raising money for historic locations. So we also did the Sandusky House recently, which is a federal headquarters during the Civil War in Lynchburg. So we do that. I think 2026 we're going to probably do a few more, possibly, but we're going to kind of slow down with events. They're a headache.
Yeah.
And it's not even the public that's the headache. It's the location people that run it themselves. It can be a pain.
Yeah.
Sometimes getting there.
Mm-hmm.
I just say, if you have to go through Atlanta to get anywhere, Richmond, Nashville, it sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, getting to some of the locations to host an event at can be difficult.
Don't you guys have an event coming up in Gettysburg?
Yeah, that's at my favorite location to investigate, which is the Rainworth Lodge. It's a 300-year-old location, lots of great history there. And it's one of the few places where I've seen what I like to call real paranormal activity. Like I said, it's great history. It's got Oscar Shaw, who was a famous actor back in the 20s, 30s era, was there. It's got great Civil War history as well. Great location. We hosted that. I think it's our second year in a row doing that. Beautiful place. 300-year-old cabin that you're staying in. Awesome location to host an event at. Awesome location to investigate.
Like to say hi to all my family and Ron's family that's in the chat.
Kevin, Sue,
Mom. Oh, Robert. Hi,
Robert. Everybody.
Not family, but welcome anyway. And Kevin, we're glad that you're out there listening. I know you're not in chat. And hey, Crystal. And there you go. Daryl's there for you. So you got somebody showing up for you.
Daryl Paulette is with Bedford Paranormal. He is also a location owner himself. He has the Spirit of Clover Hill in Appomattox, Virginia, and he also has the Appomattox County Jail. Two awesome locations. I can't speak highly enough of those locations. I got a lot of unfinished business there at both of his locations, and he's also with Bedford Paranormal. Those are like second family to me as well. Great team, great guys. Daryl's a good buddy of mine. Great guy. And I see Rhonda Harris from Fredericksburg Paranormal. She's a psychic medium as well. I remember we've had our conversations about how I feel about the mediumship in this field. She's one of the real ones. I've heard her speak. And I wouldn't just say that because she's here. If I didn't think she was one of the real ones, I would just be like, hey, it's my buddy Rhonda. No, Rhonda has a lot of gifts, and she's Rhonda's always been quiet until I sat and heard her speak at an event one time, and I was just I was mad that she stopped speaking because I was learning so much about the field myself. 20 years in the field, and I was learning a whole lot of new things from Rhonda. And then, of course, we got
yeah, Rhonda.
Rhonda, if you hear Rhonda speak on especially like divination tools, she was teaching me things that I never even heard of before, things that I go out here and use before. I can't speak not enough about Rhonda. I was going there. The extension of myself here, Miss Courtney.
Yeah, Courtney keeps.
She your stalker?
She keeps. Who's this? She keeps getting in here and making comments.
That's my baby.
Like she knows you or something.
That's my baby. Yeah. Shout out Courtney. I couldn't do half of the stuff that I do or accomplished in life without Courtney. She's definitely someone who encourages me to do things that I never thought I would be doing, and I wouldn't have been able to accomplish. Like I said, wouldn't be doing half the stuff I've done in life. But I also want to shout out Ronnie Rickard. I'm sorry, Ronnie. He's another buddy of mine. He is with Middletown Paranormal here in Virginia. Great guy. I think the problem with Ronnie, though, is that if you put Ronnie and I in a room together, we're going to talk for hours at a time about everything, history, paranormal. So I love Ronnie, though. Only problem is that Ronnie and I won't stop talking.
Yeah, put that one up.
There you go.
And she will.
I know. Like I said, I think it's you and anybody that shares your beliefs that you guys are gonna sit there and talk, because we didn't have enough time to even. I mean, we hung out, but we didn't get enough time hanging out.
Yeah, the sun had went down and everything when we were hanging out. But it was a great time hanging out with y'all too.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, I had a blast with y'all. It was great. Y'all are definitely people that I could investigate with for sure. And
Well,
I don't say that about a lot of people.
I know you don't. So here's something funny that's happened since then. Okay. So we brought home what was left of Mom's ashes. But since then, I don't hear my mom, but I hear my dad complaining about my mother. They have been arguing since we left.
You said something about that, though, when you were placing those ashes. You said something. I remember you mentioning that.
Mm-hmm.
You did mention that.
Yeah, they're still doing it. So, and it's like not like I can go back and get her ashes and dig them up. I mean, I know where I put them, but
yeah,
I don't know.
You did mention that. I remember you talking about that when you were doing that. That's crazy, actually.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, y'all actually taught me something new, a new technique. You know, I'll give y'all props as well. I will admit that, you know, I love investigating and learning stuff from people. Sometimes during an investigation, I'll just sit back and be quiet because I'm learning. I will learn stuff, but y'all are the ones who taught me how to use a phone app in a different way. And again, I'm not a big fan of phone apps, which I've said a million times. But if a spirit can manipulate it, why the hell not? So when Courtney and Ron was using them, and both of them were saying the same things at the same time, I was like, huh, 2 different apps, 2 different devices, and both of them are communicating with each other.
Yeah, it was 2 different apps.
Mm-hmm. Necrophonic and Echovox.
Yeah, they're 2 of the better ones. I will say that.
Yeah,
they're not all the same, believe me, because we've tried different ones, and those are the better ones.
But I did find it strange that my name was kept. Well, probably not strange, since so many of my family members are buried in that graveyard, that my name kept coming up. So,
you know, your name kept coming up. I mean, on 2 different devices at the same time. You know, again, I'm not a huge phone app guy, but if 2 of them are doing the same thing on 2 different devices with 2 different people holding them, y'all, it's not like y'all planned it. You know, I don't. That was very interesting to me. I still talk about that.
Yeah,
that was pretty insane how that happened.
Right.
Yeah, we've had actually 2 Echovoxes going at the same time, but not 2 different apps. Now, 2 Echovoxes, now they'll say the same things, but then we've had occasions where they would actually talk to each other. It was one spirit talking to another one through the Echovox, and they totally ignored us.
Interesting.
It was weird.
We've had a lot of strange things, but that was just odd.
It was very odd, especially like, I mean, you weren't even using a cell phone; you were using a tablet. Courtney was using a phone. I couldn't I still can't figure out the science behind it. I mean, To me, if you
Yeah,
can't debunk it, it's paranormal. That's my opinion. I
yeah,
can't
there's
see
no internet. It doesn't. There's no GPS on it. It doesn't. It's just there. I mean,
And the mic is off.
yeah. The mic is off. It's not. It's just going through it.
and we have no clue who your family is for us to be able to make it say anything. So I have no idea how that worked.
Well, I did not know until the following day when we went down to that Yates Tavern
Mm-hmm.
that my family were some of the founding members of Gretna.
Interesting.
So inside, did you guys go inside the building?
We couldn't get inside.
Oh, you couldn't?
I just opened the door and walked in.
Oh, it was.
I didn't try.
I mean, you had to give it a tug, but
yeah, I just walked in.
I said, I think it's locked, and then she kind of. Well, I guess it isn't.
Yeah,
looks like I need to take a trip back down there then.
Yeah. So inside, there's a list of people that were in the Revolutionary War and town founders and things like that. And there were the roaches. So I was really excited to see that. So, but yeah, we took a lot of pictures. In fact, we drove right by it. We could have walked there from our motel. So, because we stayed in the little Gretna motel.
Okay, yeah.
But if you remember, I told you we stayed there when I was a kid.
Right.
So we kind of had to stay there because of that. But
it was clean. I mean,
it was clean. Yeah. But I want to go back and spend a couple days down there with family and stuff now that my family has met me again for the first time in 50 years.
That was a good trip. I mean, 4 or 5 your family members showed up, and then
you
guys, and Courtney showed up. Denise says you might show up, and I thought, okay, yeah. And then when you did, and her family, I was like, wow, it was a fun night.
It was. That's a pretty interesting cemetery as well.
Yeah, like I said, I'd like to go over to the other side and check out the actual graveyard.
We need to get over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you got the cemetery on one side and the graveyard on the other, and
right.
And it's just, I don't know. No. I'd like to go back to the funeral home too. The funeral home is still open, but it was the last place I saw my dad. The last place I saw my dad in the flesh.
Right.
Just saying. But I'd like to go there. I don't know. I mean, I know they wouldn't remember me, but it would be interesting to see it again. Mm-hmm. So, but I don't know. And see, I never told you guys the whole story until that night about why I wanted you guys to go there. I didn't think that we would get there. I thought that you guys would make it there before we did. So I was going to trust you guys with my family history. But you didn't know that.
Yeah, that place is definitely interesting. I did not expect to get what we got down there, to be honest with you. I really didn't.
Did you guys go through any of your evidence?
Did we go through? No, I don't think I did. I've got probably hours and weeks of evidence that I need to go through.
Yep.
So yeah.
I'm not judging because I have work I need to do that's calling my name. So all this other stuff has to go by the wayside so I can work. So
I might get to it one day.
This month, right?
What's that?
You've had a busy month so far this month, right?
Yeah, I remember at the beginning of the month, we were in Pennsylvania probably 5 times in a row, investigating. And then we did a lot of events this month. And then we rested for a couple. We had a Civil War reenactment that we did. And I saw Emily Warner pop up. Shout out Lost Souls Paranormal. They are like, I'd say they're like a sister to us. Emily is, and her husband Chris. They do a lot of stuff with us. They investigate. They come on investigations with us as well. Great people, good friends of ours. they did a Civil War reenactment with us as well, and they got hooked on their first battle, so they're going to join our unit as well. We're all about history as well, so we do the Civil War stuff, the living history stuff, and so it's just been nuts for the last couple months. So we're just taking a few weeks to get ready to go back to Gettysburg and host the event. And after that, I think we're done for a while. I mean, I still investigate cemeteries. We just did the other day. And I still do a lot of live stuff on TikTok as well. I stay active on there. So I actively investigate at least once or twice a week.
So what is your handle on TikTok?
It's Hill City Ghost with an S at the end of it.
Okay. You guys check that out. Just a heads up, I'm not on TikTok. Probably will never be. There's so many phone apps. I can't get any more phone apps. My phone's trying to throw up now.
Yeah. I told myself I would never do TikTok. I told myself when it first came out, I can't do it. I won't do it. Until I saw that TikTok right now is the best platform to reach people. I noticed on Facebook, if you do anything on Facebook, if you go live, you might get 5 people. You might get a buddy or two that tune. Well, on Facebook, we've built our following up for a while, but TikTok, if we go live, we might have 200 people watching at every time.
And we were like that with Periscope.
Yeah.
When I would get on Periscope, we would have people just jump in all the time.
Yeah. From anywhere.
Yeah. I just noticed with this new algorithm thing that Facebook does, it's horrible. And so I noticed on TikTok, though, we're connecting with people from all over the world. Every time we go live, there's people, and then after we're done, we'll have like 30 to 100 new followers every time. And so to me, it's not even, I don't really care so much about the following, but I create a lot of videos where I'm promoting locations. And basically what my goal is to keep the paranormal field alive, because it's getting to where it's just drowning. A lot of locations are closing their doors. A lot of people have locations and are struggling because nobody talks about the location they just investigated. People will literally go to a location and never post their evidence. They'll never talk about it, which I understand why people don't post evidence, because then you got those jerks that will say, "Oh, that's fake," or that's not a whatever. That's not an orb. Instead of saying to yourself, "That's not an orb," people have to get on here and comment, be keyboard warriors. Just if you don't think it's an orb, then just say it's not an orb and keep going. Right. You don't have to comment negativity all the time. So
people, this is a public service announcement. That goes for anything you don't like.
Right.
You don't have to say something. You can just scroll on past, block them, whatever. You don't have to start an argument with everybody. Right. That happened to me today. Somebody asked my opinion. I gave it. Then somebody wanted to argue with me. And it's like, you can go argue with that wall because I ain't doing it.
Right. So that's why the field is drowning, because people are afraid to post their captures. People don't want to support other investigators in other locations. So that's a lot of reason why I like TikTok, is because you really don't have to deal with a lot of that. If we post evidence on there, it's usually people encouraging it or complimenting it. Now, I don't have to argue and fight with everybody, so I don't have to deal with a lot of negativity. So TikTok has actually been a good platform for us to be on.
I'll have to check it out. Hey there, Linda Burnison. I know that you're related, so hey there.
Hey, Linda.
Hey,
Carol.
So if anybody has any questions at all they want to ask Sean, please feel free to put them in the chat, and we will ask those questions the minute you ask them, pretty much. So,
yeah.
But don't you guys have an event coming up on like either like around New Year's Eve or right after New Year's?
Not that I know of. Courtney,
if you do, put it in the chat. And
Look,
Courtney, if you
I
could
just
put in
don't
the
want-
dates of your events, that would be great because Sean does not have a calendar in front of him, so he has no clue what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's
So.
terrible, y'all. I apologize. I should have been better prepared with that. So
Okay.
Courtney had the question.
Courtney, he said yes already.
this is
What do you want for dinner?
literally what I want for dinner.
Okay. So we had burnt ends and pasta salad and tater tots. Does that sound good?
I love tater tots. I would choose tater tots over fries any day.
Yeah.
Me too.
I will. I like the crunchy stuff.
So your next event is November 14th and 15th. So this is why you're resting now.
Yeah. Doing events takes a lot out of you. You know, I had a statement made to me at our last event. You guys are having fun while we have to work. And that really sat wrong with me. And I was like, yeah, we are having fun, but hosting a public investigation is a lot of work for us. We support other locations doing public events. So when we go out of town, it's nothing for us to hop on a public. And I've been on events where the investigators just sit there like a bump on a log while everybody's investigating. We don't. We investigate with people. We are actively engaging with everyone on a public investigation because the whole point is teaching the public how to do it, or also teaching the history of the location that they're investigating. So while we're going through each room, I'm telling you the history of what happened in the house, and I'm teaching you how to use the equipment you're investigating with because we provide the equipment as well with no extra charge. Wink, wink. So, we're very actively working while we're doing it. It takes a lot out. But for the question, I wanted to shout out Ryan Jones first. Ryan Jones has the freaking awesome paranormal show, which airs every Tuesday night at 9:00, right after our show on Tuesday night at 8:00. And he's also a member of ASPS Paranormal. Great guy. He's the reason why we started doing podcasts. Great guy, awesome buddy of ours. Great dude. So
I've been friends with him for about 10 years.
Who, Ryan? Yeah,
Yep.
Ryan's awesome. I think he's also with the cabin as well on 360 here in Virginia. So Ryan's good dude. Great guy.
So Carol asks, how long have you been doing ghost hunting?
I've been actively investigating in the field for about 20 years now. That, as far as I can remember, actively investigating. I've been interested in the field since I was 6 years old, but actively investigating about 20 years. And I like to call myself a 20-year-old rookie. I still 20 years. I don't know anything about the field. Know nothing about ghosts.
That's the way it should be. It should be It should be that you're learning something new every time you go out there, like you said.
Yeah.
It's important to not have your mind closed because you think you know everything already.
Right. And that's how you, to me, in my opinion, the people who do, I ran into those who know everything, so to speak, and they get very minimal evidence when they investigate. And as long as your mind stays open and you're open to learning, you'll get a whole lot more evidence.
Tom McNicholas says hosting a public investigation was the hardest thing he's ever had to do.
Oh, man.
It's not easy, especially if you have a big group.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
It's not. It is. It's fun. I have a good time doing it, especially seeing the faces on the people when they get results. But it's not easy. And I would continue doing more of it. But like I said, I've had a lot of negative experiences with doing it. And it's kind of deterring me from doing as many of them. I will continue to do it, but I'll be very careful and picky about where I do it at from moving forward. Spirit talks to me in my sleep and copy my daughter's voice. So that's something, just to comment on that, we've been dealing with a lot lately is mimics. Daryl Paulette has been with me on the last mimic experience I had. I had something mimic my voice on a recorder, and I had something mimic another teammate's voice while we were investigating on a recording. I've been dealing with a lot of that here recently, and that's happened at the not Clover Hill. That happened at the Appomattox County Jail, Daryl Paulette's location. He's got a mimic in there really bad. Last investigation we had 2 times. Daryl's sitting right beside me, and I love investigating with Daryl because he's on a whole nother team than me. So when we're getting evidence and I can tell somebody about it, they know I have no reason to make it up. So Daryl and I's holding the recorder. Matter of fact, my favorite recorder. And I'm just sitting here doing EVPs, and the EVPs are saying things that I never said on the recording. I'm like, I never said that. Like, there's no reason for me to say that. It was pretty wild.
We had we were listening to Ghost Adventures, and I know some people have heard this story, and I was listening, Ron was watching, and it was the McPike Mansion episode, and all of a sudden they're playing an EVP, and it was my voice.
Oh wow!
And the thing is I wasn't there. I was at
Ashmore.
We were at Ashmore Estates, still in Illinois, but a few hours away. So I thought that was really unusual that my voice would come up. And I mean, it was on TV as well. So needless to say, that's weird.
We've had that happen before, but you said it's happened a lot recently. That's interesting. I wonder what's going on.
I don't know. The last couple locations, it's happened. I'm trying to think of where else it's happened at. I know it's happened at Rainworth, which is where we're going to have our next public at. It's happened with Courtney. It's happened there, Rainworth with Courtney a lot. It happened with me. It's happening. It's quite frequently, but at Daryl's place in Appomattox at the county jail, it's happened both times that I went there.
But is it happening at places you've been to a lot?
I've only been to Appomattox County Jail twice, and I've been to Rainworth a lot. So right. I'm pretty sure the spirits there know me by now. But right. Daryl's place, Daryl will tell you, and Daryl's even said that he sees people get a lot of evidence, and Daryl's in the comments. He can correct me if I'm wrong, but Daryl said when Courtney and I go there, it's a different type of energy in there. He said he sees a lot of different things happen that he doesn't usually see happen. Right. For example, he's got a bell in there that he said he's been waiting to go off since he started investigating there. And he said that he's been waiting to hear that bell ring. And we investigated there, and I was reviewing evidence from our last investigation there, and I hear a bell ring, and I'm like, where the hell did this bell come from? I'm like, I didn't even know he had a bell in there. So we called Daryl. I was like, Daryl, where's this bell? Do you have a bell in here somewhere? He's like, man, I've been waiting to hear that bell ring since we started investigating this place.
Is it one of those ding bells?
He said, I still haven't seen this bell. He said he's got it hanging up somewhere upstairs in the jail.
Oh, if it's hanging up, then it probably isn't the kind like a hotel bell.
No, no, it's not one of those. He said he's got it hanging up somewhere up there. I don't know where it's at. I don't know where it's at in there. I didn't even know he had it in there. I just heard it. It was a real weird sounding ring. So it's not like a breeze blew and it rung the bell. It's like something shook this bell and then stopped it instantly.
Okay. Drive careful, I have no Courtney. Idea, but be safe.
Yeah, Courtney, I'll see you in a few, babe. But I want to shout out Ed Odell as well. He's with he has the Riff Nation Network. We like to call him Howie. He's also the leader of ASPS Paranormal here in Virginia. Good friend of mine, by the way. And the last time
been here a lot.
Howie's a good buddy of mine. The last time Howie and I investigated together was about a week or two ago, and we both saw a full body apparition together, along with my public group that was with me. And that was actually very amazing. I think my mouth dropped to the floor because you don't see that very often.
No.
And of course, didn't have my camera running because I'm not trying to get evidence. I'm trying to teach people how to investigate.
Yeah.
But Howie and I have been running a big experiment with lighting together. And of course, during that experiment, and something amazing happened. The apparition popped up, and nobody had a camera running. So,
well, you know,
if you did, it wouldn't have showed up.
No,
never would have happened.
That works, right?
It's kind of like the only time you get a picture of Bigfoot is when you're moving. That's why it's blurry.
Mm-hmm.
Or there are other reasons. So,
you're right.
But
you're
right. Yeah, I don't know. It's strange to say the least, and how that works.
Yeah.
So
the jaw dropped. Yeah, it did. It was one of those things where, like, I was just standing there and I saw somebody standing beside me, and I look and I'm like, "Are you serious right now?" And then it was gone.
That's when you want to have a camera to get the look on your face.
Yeah.
Or the color of your pants.
Well, I wish I could have got the. I think my face is more like, this is amazing, but I wish I could have got the group's face because they were like, like, what in the world?
Yes. Yeah.
So.
Oh, they'll remember.
I mean, even the evidence leading up to that was great. You know, it was, the whole thing was just perfect. How it happened, you know, how it manifested. Everything was great with that. I mean, it was cool. Cool situation.
You know, a lot of times before something happens, that you'll catch or you'll see something else happens just before it, like a temperature drop, or, well, we're at McPike. We had our group. We went down into the cellar. Everybody was in there, and I'm usually the last one in. I go to shut the doors, and I happen to glance up down this little hallway where they had their old furnace was back there in the back part of the house.
Big boiler.
Yeah, big boiler. And, it's just an open doorway. And I saw a shadow figure dart across the hallway going to the steps. The steps go right up to the kitchen. And I thought,
kitchen.
Man.
Wow, did I just see that? And Dara, a friend of ours, she was down there. She just got into the cellar, and I said, she goes, "What's wrong?" I said, I could have swore I just saw a shadow figure right, down the hallway, down by the boiler. And she goes, "Where?" And then I'm sitting there looking. I said, "Is it my eyes?" Or I said, is it just foggy down there all of a sudden? And she looks down there and she goes, "No, it is. It's all foggy right down there." And I said, "It wasn't before."
That's what McPike mentioned, how they got on the radar, was there was a fog that would show up. It
was just foggy right there in the doorway.
Yeah. And they
just there.
They couldn't debunk it.
Just all of a sudden.
How are you still watching this? That's exactly how that happened that night. So
really?
I had the GS2 pointing at the door. We had the door shut. Howie had a laser grid on the opposite side, and I kept seeing something break the laser grid under the door, like somebody was pacing under it. And then on my GS2, it kept picking up a figure walking across the screen. And then to back it up, a couple weeks before, my buddy Chris Mendez from Supernatural Untold Stories came down to hang out with us, and he wanted to see this location that we were investigating. So 2:30 in the morning, we drive up just so I could show him the house. And he had his camera out doing a TikTok live, and he kind of flashed the camera at the building, flashed it back. Well, we all went out to dinner with Daryl Paulette and his crew, Bedford Paranormal. And Chris, I get a phone call. Chris is like, "Dude, you got to check out my video. I caught something." I'm like, "All right, I'll check it out." And I kid you not, 2:30 in the morning. Now, mind you, this place is a museum. It's security lock, passcode, all that stuff. You see a person walk across the bedroom window, which is a number one claim over there. So we were in that area where that person walked across the window. So fast forwarding back to that night, Howie gets his laser grid, points it at the door. Well, all of a sudden, I said, "Is this room getting foggy?" The whole room was like full of fog, and I was like, "This is weird." I look at the door, and there's somebody standing right beside me, and I look back at everybody in the room to see if they see it.
Yeah.
Everybody's mouth is wide open, and I'm like, "Oh, this is cool." Then the laser grid cuts off. It just shuts off. The room's pitch black now. So then Howie and I are kind of looking at each other with a smile because this is a test that we've been doing for 2 years now with laser grids, with colors and lights.
Yeah.
So Howie asked the same question we've been doing for 2 years. If you're able to, can you cut the laser grid back on, please? Laser grid pops back on. And then Howie was using the laser grid to actually answer yes or no by cutting it on and off. And he did that until it was time for everybody to leave.
And your laser grid is a button, right?
It's a push button.
Yeah.
And see,
it has to click.
Right.
Now at McPike.
Yeah, let me know what colors you guys, think work the best, because I do want to do more laser grid.
Yeah.
So we're experimenting with all kind of colors right now. Whenever Howie and I get together, the whole room looks like a rainbow. It's like that's what we're working on right now. But Howie went and got, there you go. We're getting all the colors of the rainbow.
Yeah, so far
I know where to put one.
when
we go to McPike next.
I've gotten nothing with the green grid.
So we've had some interesting stuff happen with green. We've noticed a couple things is locations will interact with different colors. That's what we're learning. So Lost Souls and Howie and I all got together and was at a location, and we were testing the laser grid theory. We had red and green. And Howie's red laser, Howie's like a mad scientist. He like built this. It took like a toy that had made a tripwire out of it. So if you broke the grid, had an alarm go off.
Yeah.
Well, he did that, and it's a red laser. I kid you not, the alarm kept going off. Like something kept breaking that grid. About 5 minutes, it died. How we say true. The grid died. So I mean the toy died or whatever. So then we shoot a red laser and we shoot a green laser. Full charged battery. Howie's testing the battery, just put them in there. I kid you not, after a few minutes, the red laser would die. Then the green laser would die. And the entity would use the lasers to answer yes or no. And this happened every single time we investigated that location. So we took those lasers to another spot of this location. This is a big location. And so we took it to a whole nother building, whole nother spot in this location. Lost Souls cut their laser grid on it, and it instantly just starts flashing like a light, just blinking on and off, but nonstop, and it wouldn't stop doing it, like on off, on off, on off. And it got to the point where one time it would completely kill Howie's red light because it didn't like the color red at this location. It killed his light, would not cut back on. He's clicking, 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 clicking. Then when we wrapped everything up, cut the lights on, was getting ready to leave, he clicked his laser grid, laser beam strong as ever. No problem. I mean, that location hated the color red. Anytime we use red, it'd kill it instantly.
Oh, I thought there was going to be a sign on the wall. This location sponsored by Energizer.
Yeah.
It needed
a lot of those.
Or Duracell.
Yeah. But that was, so we've been experimenting now. Howie and I talked for hours about the laser grids, and we've been experimenting with it. So just something Howie and I do when we get together now. We'll set a whole room up full of lasers, and the evidence we've gotten out of them has been crazy.
Yeah, I want to get some more. And I'm going to do some different colors too.
You could use tissue paper to change the color of a plain light grid. You don't even have to buy different ones. Just buy one that's a regular white light and buy tissue paper.
Yeah.
Save some money.
I mean, that'll work.
They're not expensive.
No.
I mean, it's just one of the cheaper ones you can get.
Yeah, but it's the more crap you got to remember to bring, and more batteries you got to buy.
They're small. Well, batteries, yeah.
I'm just saying. Thinking ahead here. Problem solving on the run.
That's a good point. That Tom put laser grids are a form of full spectrum.
Yeah.
And that's another theory Howie and I have been talking about. Howie and I talk a lot of paranormal theory. I don't use IR lights anymore when I investigate. That's no secret. I think I've talked about that a lot. I use a lot of full spectrum now, and I use a lot of UV lighting now, or I just use ambient. No more sitting in the dark. I'll just cut on a red light or a green light and investigate with ambient lighting. And I'll tell you the evidence that I've gotten, and you can talk to anybody who's in the chat that knows me. The evidence I've gotten lately just off ambient lighting has been incredible. I think UV lighting is a thing of the past for me, and that's just based on science. I think there's something in our lighting that's just not good in the paranormal world. That's just my opinion, though, y'all. Don't attack me. That's just my personal opinion.
Well, the thing is we're entitled to these opinions because we have no proof. But in your case, you have proven, at least to yourself, that this doesn't work for you.
Right. Well, at least when I investigate and the experiments that I have done, the UV lighting and ambient lighting has produced more results, more data. And so on the documentation that I have, I've gotten more results as opposed to using the IR lighting. So that's what I can say. Now, a lot of people disagree, and a lot of people will still use the IR, but the UV lighting and ambient lighting have done way better for me.
Have you tried using them together?
Absolutely. When the doll's house, I was I was in their dining room, and I was using a UV light with a ambient light, and we were all just investigating. Temperature drops. My GS2 laser grid was picking up a mass, but it wasn't showing on the screen. It was just showing that something was moving around. And all of a sudden I look, and I would have never seen it had I not had UV light on. So the UV light was highlighting the mass. It was so when I hit my vape, that's literally what I saw in the other room. That's how thick that mass was. Had I been in complete black, I would have never seen that. If I was in the complete darkness, I would have never noticed it. That mass was so thick that I could see my full laser grid in the mass. From the between the UV and the GS2, I could see the laser beams through the cloud. I've got that on camera. What I could also see was when I looked at the camera footage, I could see things walking through it and breaking my laser grid. That's coming from UV. Now, if I was in the complete darkness, I would never seen that.
Right.
I agree. I don't think that, I know why people want to investigate in the dark, especially with a large group of people sometimes. It's just to get them to focus and to listen and to pay attention.
Right.
But I will tell you, there's nothing I hate more than sitting in a room that's completely dark and people talking over each other.
Yeah.
Things like that. It's hard. I'm going to tell you, in my case, I get frustrated sitting in a room in the dark with especially people that don't understand that you need to be quiet to listen.
Yeah, so I use a little bit of psychology with it, especially on public investigations. So I did a test. I did a test. I got a little bit of psychology skills because y'all know what field of work that I'm in, and I'm not trying to say that I'm good or great, but I like doing tests. I love science and I love psychology. I feel that people investigate best when they're comfortable. I feel that. Think about it. We experienced investigators, when we go to a place that's too hot, we don't get results because we're not comfortable. If we're too cold, we don't get results because we're not comfortable. We're not relaxed. We're not putting our feelings into it. We're just investigating. So think about the general public who's watched the ghost shows. If they're in a room that's completely dark, the reason why they're talking and acting crazy is because they're scared. So if you're in a dark room and it's completely silent and they hear the first noise, they're uncomfortable. So at the Sandusky house, and I'll plug it in there, this is where our place was that we did the public. I left every light in the house on and got amazing results. Howie's in the chat. He was there. He's not on my team. He has no reason to lie for me right now. And Howie's called the hitman because he calls it like it is. We got amazing results with the lights on. Every light in the house was on. We weren't in pitch black. Only time we were in pitch black was when we were in the room with the laser grids, and that's only so we could see the laser grid. That's the only reason why the lights were off. That's the only room that was in pitch black was because I wanted to see the laser grid. But every light in the house was on. It was at no point did we ever go lights out until somebody asked if we could go lights out. And we got great results. So ambient lighting, to me, you could see shadows with ambient light. How do you see a shadow in pitch black? You have to have light.
Unless, of course, it's pitch black, but it gets darker than it was. That's the only way. And the odds of that are slim to none.
Right. That's why I feel like I'm catching more things. So also, Ed brought up another thing. We ran a Tesla coil experiment. Yeah. We put a lot of energy in the air that night when we were getting those results. But again, these are things that we did to ramp up activity. We put a Tesla. We've been experimenting with Tesla coils, but ambient light, place was bright, great results. Everyone was happy. I've got reviews on the page to show it. So
and nobody tripped and fell over anything because they could see where they were going.
And all my EVP sessions, Howie was there. All my EVP sessions, everyone was completely quiet. I had no issues with anybody talking. So I think people started to talk more because everyone wants to cut the lights off. I think people cut the lights off more. I agree with you. It does cause people to focus, but I think they cut the lights off to set the mood. We're ghost hunting. We're paranormal investigators. We got to be in the dark. I think a lot of that has to do with that.
Like I said, I think that sometimes the dark gives them the freedom to speak up because we can't see who it is that's saying it.
Oh, that's a good point. It is a good point.
Even though at some point everybody's voice in the room.
Yeah, I can never hide in the dark room. I mean, visually, yeah, but my voice, no.
No, me either. But yeah, I get frustrated with, especially people who bring children that aren't really old enough to understand.
Yeah.
So, but I will tell you, you talked about investigating cemeteries. Guess what our grandchildren are asking us to do now? Every weekend. They want us to take them to They want us to take them to cemeteries.
That's great. That's where my daughter started, was a cemetery.
I mean, we're not investigating right now. We're just walking around and we're talking about the people who lived who were buried there and the life that they had. So we're basically talking history.
That's beautiful.
My grandson, he's 4. He's going around saying that all the babies in the cemetery, it's sad and they're his friends.
Uh-huh.
So I think he's starting to understand, but we asked him what they wanted to do last Saturday, and they wanted to go to the graveyard more than they wanted to go to the playground. How's that for odd? For a 4-year-old, anyway. So,
yeah, for 4, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's cool though.
Yeah, it is. It's funny.
Yeah.
And they're really good out there. They don't
run off. And they want to clean up every grave though.
Yeah, they don't mess with anything. I told them, I said, it's really, really, if they leave like stuffed animals or a glass or anything that's left on a grave, I said, don't touch it. That's really, really bad luck if you do.
Well, the fact that you're teaching them history,
and they don't touch it.
Yeah, the fact that you're teaching them history is great. You know, I quiz my daughter all the time on history because they don't teach them that. They don't teach them nothing in school no more.
No.
At least in Virginia, they don't.
I don't know about here. I really don't know here at this point. But the big thing is I just want them to know about the people that were here before. But you saw where my family was. That's where we had picnics there at that graveyard a lot growing up. So we would stop and get chicken down at the Golden Griddle and bring it up there and just have picnics every weekend.
And that's why I always say that cemeteries are haunted. That's exactly why. Just because of old customs that you don't see anymore. 1800s, when somebody died, your family visited all the time. And that's where a spirit, I think, why they linger is because that's what they're used to. And then when it stops, they're like, okay, where y'all at?
Well, when it comes right down to it, the first parks in this country were cemeteries.
Yeah.
There was no such thing as a playground.
Right.
So people that was the only place that they would go. And usually they went on Sundays after church.
Right.
So, and Virginia's big on that. I mean,
yeah.
Like I said, growing up, that's where we went. We were either at the one in Gretna or the one in Hurt, or even the Lynchburg Cemetery. There was where was it? Well, it doesn't matter which one. We were always at a cemetery on a Sunday. I could guarantee it growing up.
I just think about the amount of activity that happened the minute you sat down and tried to communicate with your family. It's undeniable that something was going on. Just with everything that was happening, even the feeling. Like I tell people, it doesn't have to be equipment; it could just be your feeling. It's paranormal. I went into a mental institution and was the feeling I had versus equipment going off. I could tell you something was there because I've been in several mental institutions with the field of work I'm in, and that same feeling came back every time that I go into one. So I mean, emotions have definitely. It was just the whole vibe just changed when things started happening.
So we're near the end of the show. So where can everybody find you and Courtney?
We are on all social media platforms that I can think of. At Hill City Ghost. I don't know why Courtney made it with an S on the end, but if you type in at Hill City Ghost, you'll find us on all platforms. We usually respond to everybody. We deal with all comments, questions, anything you want to know. We usually have some sort of answer. We will respond. We do host events. We don't do many residential things anymore. We do some, not a lot, but don't get mad as if we tell you your house is not haunted. You just need to turn your alarm clock the other direction. But yeah, we're on all platforms. We do a lot of live stuff on TikToks. If you want to see how we investigate in our style, please join us on TikTok. You'll see that we are not serious at all during the investigation. We laugh, we joke.
Oh yeah.
I represent that remark.
Yes.
So, and about your show, when is your show?
Our podcast is every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. And
yeah, man.
We need to get y'all on there, actually.
That's what Courtney said.
Yeah.
So
I don't run the show there, so I will forget by the time we get off here. That's why Courtney.
I understand. You're operating on an empty stomach. You're waiting on dinner.
Exactly.
8:00 Eastern time, right?
Yes. 8:00 Eastern. I keep forgetting y'all are like 10 or 12 hours away from me.
Yeah, well, we're just barely in the central time zone.
Yeah. So every Tuesday night we talk everything from paranormal to conspiracy to the cryptids, which I don't know a whole lot about. I usually let Courtney run the show on the cryptid stuff. I don't get into cryptids because I wouldn't know what to do if I found one. So
I would know what I would do if I found one.
yeah, so I don't really get into them. I like research them sometimes and looking at stuff. But I don't hunt them, so I don't know what to do.
Yep. No, I want some ribs, Bigfoot ribs.
Yeah, I'm sure that would taste really good.
I have no clue, you know. But I keep telling everybody, if I see Bigfoot, I'm hitting him with the car.
Yeah,
and that's it. I'm bringing him home. I like Harry and the Hendersons.
Yeah, that's why I don't hunt them. I see people chasing them all through the mountains, and nobody ever can get a clear picture of them. So why am I going to look for them? I see people getting paranormal evidence all the time. That sounds about right to me. I need to stick with something I can actually do or catch.
Well, I tell you, I can't wait.
They're out there with IR cameras, and they're not getting anything. So there may be something to that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
I think you're right on that.
I hope we can get up there again.
Maybe they can detect it. Maybe spirits can detect IR light, and they're like,
Yeah, hopefully we can get up there again because we plan on going back to Virginia to see my sister.
That'd be great.
My other plan is to hopefully get to Antietam because I do have a cousin who has a house on Antietam Battlefield.
Yeah, actually lives in it.
So
Antietam's beautiful. I love Antietam. I love visiting.
I've never been there. I mean, I've been to Appomattox. I've been there a few times with school when I was growing up. So needless to say, all these trips that I did prior to the 1980s, I've been to a lot of these places before people started talking about them being haunted, other than, hush, hush going, it's haunted, that kind of stuff. But, you didn't hear about it back then. So I want to go as a grown up, maybe somewhat grown up, and see what's going on at them. So, but I'd like to thank everybody and their brother for joining us tonight. And I would like to thank everybody who came in to hear Sean talk to us tonight. I really appreciate it. And there will not be a Paranormal Pride next week. We have soccer practice and kids. And don't want you guys to get distracted because Nolan can't stop talking. So we'll see you guys the following week, I hope. And you guys have a great Halloween. Be out there, be safe, have fun, and
scare the kids.
Happy haunting. So see you guys soon. And I'd like to thank everybody for joining us on Temple Phoenix Rising Entertainment, Things Network, Bill of Rights Network, the Denise Pride Moore LinkedIn, the Paranormal Pride YouTube, and the Paranormal Pride Facebook, and Dark Realm TV. Make sure that you stream that. It's $4.99 a month or $49 a year. So check that out because we are very proud to be part of Dark Realm TV.
Soon to be TikTok.
And soon to be TikTok. So check that out. So as soon as I get it set up, you guys will all find out. So have a great day. We'll see you soon. Good night.
Good night, everyone. Oh,